ZHONGLI is on the way, and the big questions are arising. How should you build him? What weapons should you use? And potentially... Nah, I'm gonna stop. Guys, I really tried to sound smart. But anyway, guys, what is up? Welcome back to another channel video. And in today's video, what we're really going to be going over is ZHONGLI's builds. Some of his best builds, what certain builds do, and what you want to look for on this character. Now, this character has not launched, so some of these builds may vary. That's why we have multiple builds, for just in case he turns out to be a different type. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to just like completely assume exactly what he's going to be, because he's not even out yet, okay? So without further ado, we're going to get into this video, explain his best builds, best weapons, and all that. But before we do, if you are new here, make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200. We're probably going to hit 1,200 by the time this video is out. And if we do, I love you. I love you so much, and I thank you. And we are almost there, guys. We are almost to 1,500. Please smash that subscribe button. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200 or 1,300 if we've already hit 1,200. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button down below. And also like this video. You're going to enjoy this. So anyway, let's get into this video. Okay, so there's one thing I want to go over. ZHONGLI has big multipliers for his elemental burst, if you don't know. So I was thinking, for the first set to be mentioned, it is... Y'all are probably saying what everybody's used to hearing is the 4-piece bolide set, 4-piece retracing bolide set, which we will go over in a couple of seconds, couple of moments. But what I'm thinking of is, say for example, you want big plays, you want big elemental burst damage, you want to just like destroy the field with his elemental burst, literally. I feel like the noblesse oblige 2-piece set, as well as the 2-piece archaic petra. Now this does vary, because look, you can run the noblesse oblige set, right, for the plus 20% elemental burst damage, and then you can run the 2-piece archaic petra for the 15% geo damage bonus. But this will vary, because like I said, we don't know much about, we don't know too much, okay? And he's going to be released really soon, in less than probably like 2 weeks, maybe. I give it a 2 weeks, ticker change maybe. But basically 15% geo damage bonus, because he might be able to pump out a lot of geo damage. As we do know, when you do his elemental skill, you can hold, or you can just place it, and it's a stone pillar that's called the stone stele, and it does continuous geo damage. If he does tons of damage with that, you could put out, or well, he's going to do tons of damage with that if you put the 15% geo damage bonus on there, as well as having a geo damage bonus on one of your main stats on your Eon, or your Goblet. So it varies though. When he comes out, we'll see what he can mostly do, because it depends on cooldowns and all that. All that comes into play when building a character, right? So the archaic petra is pretty iffy, but as so far as noblesse oblige is for if you want his elemental burst to hit for tons of damage. And if you do use the noblesse oblige, if it is on your Eon, or your Goblet, you want to at least get crit damage, attack percent, or geo damage bonus on one of them, whichever one it's on. You want at least one of them, because those are the main stats you're going to want to look for, as well as substats of crit damage, attack percent, and crit rate, okay? And HP as well, if you can get HP, because as you do know, on his passive, 33% of the additional attack that can go onto his elemental burst is based off of his HP. So the higher your HP, the harder that additional 33% damage is going to hit. Now I want to talk about the most common set that everybody's probably going to use on him, which is the Retracing bolide set. This is a two-piece set, does increase shield strength by 35%, which is really good, because as you do know, he has a shield for his elemental skill. If you hold down on his elemental skill, he will create a jade shield, and that will give him even more strength on his shield, okay? And this also, his shield does scale off his HP, right? So also the strength scales off his HP. Also, 4-piece set, while protected by a shield, which is Jade Screen, his elemental skill, once you hold, you gain an additional 40% normal and charged attack. And why does this come in? Why does this come in so handy? Because once you have this 4-piece set on him, you're going to continuously be in shields, because depending on what team you put around him, or depending on the, just like if you spam his hold his elemental skill to get his shield continuously, you're gonna get that 40% extra normal and charged attack. And then on your Eon, or Goblet, if you have physical damage, getting physical damage will be so good. And the reason I say getting physical damage would be so good is because he is going to be doing a lot of white damage. Now, we don't know how fast his elemental burst is going to come back. We don't know. That's why you can also probably, like, on substats, you could probably go for a little bit of energy recharge. It depends. We have to see how this character works. It's going to take some experiments. But the 4-piece set, once he puts on his shield, is going to gain that normal and charge attack damage. Up to 40% normal and charge attack damage. An extra 40%. And then having physical damage as well as attack percent on your Eon, Eonthym, or Goblet. That would just make it so much better. And if you possibly can, get crit damage. And then as much crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and HP on the substats, like I said, as you can. Now, this is probably going to be the most used set on ZHONGLI, because it's kind of like the safest set. I want to say the safest set for him, because, like, this is like, we don't know exactly what he's going to be like, but this set right here is just like, it's just a comfort set. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is going to be a really, really good set for him in general. So 4-piece Retracing bolide is definitely to be kept into consideration, especially for how he's built and how he's gonna be able to do his elemental skill for the shield, and how he's doing a lot of physical and regular attack damage, normal and charged attack damage, you know. So that's really, Retracing bolide is really, 4-piece set, Retracing bolide is really going to help him with that. But you also, if you can, like, say for example, you get the 4-piece Retracing bolide set, you still have, like, say for example, you don't, okay, you want his Goblet, you want the, if you can, you want Retracing bolide Goblet, you want Retracing bolide Eonthym, and you want Retracing bolide Eon, and you want Retracing bolide Plume of Death, okay? So once you get these 4, the 3 that are editable for main stats, because you know the Plume of Death always bases off attack. The 3 that are editable for main stat change, you want to get geo damage, you want to get crit damage, and you want to get, it actually depends, okay? Geo damage varies, depends on how you want to build your ZHONGLI. You could do geo damage, crit damage, attack percent, or you could do attack percent, you could do crit damage, and you could do physical damage. It depends on how you want to build your ZHONGLI, whether you want whether you feel like this character is going to spam a lot of white damage, or is this character going to be able to spam his elemental burst, okay? See what I'm saying? So if he spams his elemental burst, you want to do geo damage, crit damage, and you want to also do attack percent, because that's going to boost your, as you know, attack percent boosts your overall every stat, your normal, your charge, your elemental skill, your elemental burst. So you want attack, crit damage, and geo damage. That's gonna boost everything to the max basically. But if he is a normal attack character, if he's gonna do a lot of white damage, you feel like if his cooldown on his, not his cooldown, but like, you know how long it takes his energy recharge for his elemental burst, if it takes like really, really long, and you feel like he's just a white damage character, he does a lot of DPS from white damage, then that's when you go for the physical attack, physical percentage on his Eon or Eonthym or Goblet, and then you go for attack percent, because it still increases your normal and charge attack, and also your elemental skill, elemental burst, and then you can go for crit damage, and boom, that's your set for white damage. And then you know the set for elemental burst damage. It depends, guys, because like I said, when this character comes out, we don't know exactly how he's gonna play out. Just like when before Child came out, that cooldown on his elemental skill, not everybody knew about that, and now everybody knows about it. They have to, like, you know, rework how they play Child, because you have to, like, basically, if you want to use the elemental skill, if you go onto it and then you go off, like, as soon as you go on, the cooldown is reduced a lot. But if you stay on it the whole time, you have a long cooldown. I believe it's a 45-second cooldown or something like that. So you definitely should take into consideration how you have to work the character. We didn't know that his elemental skill was going to do that, but we found out the hard way once he came out, and we all had to rework and adapt. So just like that, we're not gonna know exactly what ZHONGLI is going to have. Like, we know his skills, we know his elemental burst, we know that he his additional damage for his passive is 33% additional damage to his elemental burst is based off his HP. We know his Jade Shield is based off his HP, but the cooldowns, I believe it's like 12 seconds or something like that. The cooldown of his ultimate, it's like 12 seconds, I believe, and it costs 60 energy, of course, like every elemental burst in this game. But what is his energy? What is his energy recharge looking like? How does his elemental skill, is it consistent? Can you continuously get energy in order to proc your elemental burst, like coming back really, really fast, right? Is that possible? If that is, like I said, you want to go for that build. Crit damage, geo damage, and then you also want to go for attack percent. That's it. And then, you know, Fizz. You want physical build, white damage, Fizz damage. You want attack percent damage, and you want crit damage, okay? So that's the 4-piece Retracing bolide set, how you want to build that, depending on whether he's going to be white damage mainly, or whether he's going to be a spammable Geo character that can spam Geo element and can spam his elemental burst and elemental skills, right? I feel like this set, out of all of them, is a pretty unique set, and it's pretty universal depending on how you want to play ZHONGLI. And you're probably saying, what do I mean by universal? I mean, as in, it can be used for his normal attack, his charge attack, his elemental skill, his elemental burst, all that. Because you have your noblesse oblige 2-piece set, right? Which increases the elemental damage by 20%, which is gonna boost his elemental damage, his elemental burst damage, which you want. His elemental burst damage multipliers are extremely high. They can go extremely high. So if this is how you want to build him, you can build him with this 2-piece noblesse oblige set for the elemental burst plus 20%. And also you can build him with the 2-piece gladiator set. Because as I said, 2-piece gladiator set applies the attack plus 18%. For all you people that are confused out there, for some of you people that are confused out there, this attack plus 18% does not only apply to his normal and charged attacks. This applies to his normal, his charged attacks, his elemental skills, and his elemental burst damage. This is a variety of, it's literally attack plus 18%. If it only applied to his normal and charged attack or anything like that, it will be something like this. As you can see on the 4-piece set, if the wielder of this artifact set uses a sword, claymore, polearm, it increases their normal attack damage by 35%. It would have therefore stated it increased your normal and charge attack damage if it was only normal and charge attack damage. But since it's attack, just regular attack plus 18%, this means your elemental burst, elemental skill, normal, charge attacks, all that. It means all your attacks, okay? So that is why this is going to be a universal set. You're going to have this that's boosting your elemental burst, as well as a noblesse oblige 2-piece set that's boosting your elemental burst. And then, like I said, on your Eon them, and your goblet, it depends on whether he's a physical or a elemental burst, similar to the Luke, how the Luke can spam his elemental burst. But that's mainly the reason the Luke can spam his elemental burst, because he has a 3-piece elemental skill that helps him recharge his energy extremely fast. So what I can say about this is, if he is the character that can spam elemental burst, you want on his Eon them, and goblet, on the substats, okay, so main stats, you want crit damage, attack percent, and geo damage, okay? But on the substats, what you want is, if you can, energy recharge, okay? You want energy recharge. You also want HP, attack, crit damage, and crit rate if possible. So these 5 stats on each of the Eon them, and goblet if you possibly can. And like I said, hopefully he is a character that can spam elemental burst. We won't know until he actually comes out to see exactly how he should be played and whatnot, because he'll be finalized when he comes out, you know what I'm saying? So for sure, this is up for debate, but these are the builds you can run with ZHONGLI. These are mainly all builds. If you have any builds, just comment them down below in the comment section. I would love to hear them, because everybody's trying to get ready for this, and everybody wants to know the most optimal build. But most likely the most optimal build that everybody's going to use is the 4-piece Retracing bolide set, for how safe and easy it is, especially how he does a lot of white damage. Everybody's going to be like, oh yeah, that normal and charge attack plus 40%, plus physical damage on a main stat, plus attack percent on a main stat, plus crit damage on a main stat, that's going to make him monstrous for normal attacks and charge attacks. It's going to make him monstrous for white damage. Or if you just, your elemental burst character, you feel like he's going to do a lot of elemental burst, and he's going to have a really good recharge, then you're going to be like, ah, yeah, that crit damage, attack percent, and geo damage, and he's going to do tons. He's literally going to wipe the field with his elemental burst, especially if you have Bennett, and you have Bennett, Mona, combine them, and it's just over. Like, if you haven't watched that video on the best teams for ZHONGLI, go ahead and watch it. It was released yesterday. I will link it at the end of this video, so definitely watch that, because you're going to need to know those teams. Those teams will literally buff ZHONGLI to the max for his elemental burst damage, as well as normal and charge attacks, as well as elemental skills, as well as all that damage, okay? So for sure, check out that video. And so that really concludes this video about mainly all of these sets for him. It really depends on him, how his cooldown looks, how his energy recharge looks, how much can we spam his elemental skill, you know what I'm saying? Some of you already know the not the energy recharge. Some of you already know the cooldown of his elemental skills and stuff, but honestly, I don't want to leak anymore, because they're doing the copyright thing, so I'm not going to be leaking a lot at all. Like, I'm just going to be putting in my, my 2 cents basically. So I'm gonna basically, I know what he can do. I know some of his elemental cooldowns and whatnot, but I'm not gonna leak it and whatnot. So definitely, elemental skill depends on his cooldown. if he could spam his elemental skill, and then you could just get tons of energy recharge. You get your elemental burst fast. You want to run the set I told you, but if you can't do that, you want to run the main stat substat set I told you. So it really varies, but like I said, main stats you're looking for are crit damage, attack percent, geo damage, what else? Physical damage, attack percent, or crit damage. Okay guys, that's really what you're mainly looking for on the main stats. In substats, like I said, HP, energy recharge if he can do elemental burst really fast, or to help him do elemental burst really fast. If you want to try that build out, you can try that out. So energy recharge, crit damage, crit rate, HP, attack percent, same on every other substats. That's what you want to mainly try to get for your Zhongli. This man's going to be a monster, guys, especially for how he's built, how he has his own shield, how you could build a certain team around him, and like, bro, double Geo, double Pyro. I'm telling you, it's going to be comp when he comes out. I'm actually going to be summoning on him most likely because I'll get paid by then, so I'm going to spend literally everything in my wallet to get him as fast as possible, literally to get the guaranteed Zhongli. Y'all probably calling me a madman, but I'm literally going all in, probably, most likely, guys. If y'all want to see that video, let me know down in the comment section below. I would definitely invest in it. If y'all say y'all want to see it, I will definitely. I will go all in, over $200, right? So anyway, that's really about it for this video. These are the builds, these are potential builds. Like I said, if you have any type of other builds you have for Zhongli in mind, comment them down below. I would love to hear them, and everybody in the comment section would love to hear them as well, so they can have your 2 cents, your opinion about it, so that they could possibly have an idea on how to build him or build their Zhongli. So thank you for everybody that came out to watch this video. I hope this video did help you. If it did, you already know what to do. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,200 or 1,300 if we hit 1,200. And also smash that like button down below. Go ahead and join the subscribers today. We are all waiting for you. Whisker Gang loves you, and we're waiting to embrace you with love and all these banger videos. Y'all already know. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. Whisker Gang on top. See you in the next video.